So check it out. Yeah. Penetrated.
Well, you know what?
What,
ATF
Bob?
is at it again.
You know,
Silly stuff.
what I have here, Bob, apparently, if you're buying stuff from the retailer out of Texas called More Expensive Than Gold or Higher and Mightier Than You, or
High and Mightier Than You is a good one, yeah.
won't you regret you bought from us again? You know, the people
Buy once, buy twice, buy 3 times, cry every time.
That's right. You know, the XM855, which I have a little back stock of here, Bob, is just went through the roof because of recent action and a letter put out by the ATF saying that they intend to ban this as armor-piercing handgun bullets.
That's right, because those of us that have an AR-15 pistol, evidently they're magical in a way that makes this more penetrable than out of a rifle.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know, it's kind of an interesting little bit of history. It was 1986
Right.
when some of you older people will remember this, the cop killer bullets. You know, the left really likes to put scary names on this. These are now considered cop killer bullets. They love to put terms such as assault weapon, cop killer bullets, plastic guns, the history of
Ghost gun. Let's pull out the heartstrings.
Ghost gun. The history of using the language against reasonable firearms owners goes deep. But the ban on cop killer bullets after 2 years of the left just pushing for this ban against an imaginary problem finally resulted in
17 pages of gobbledygook.
of legislation banning armor-piercing ammunition. Now, if it wasn't for Senator Sims out of Idaho, who was the lone dissenting vote, only one guy, a Republican from the free state of Idaho, had the balls to stand up and say no. And don't you think he was ostracized for that? So at 86, I just got my driver's license. I couldn't even own a handgun back then, but I remember the debate clearly. So in 86, the ban, and let me add about Senator Sims from the free state of Idaho. He also put in the amendment that made it only handgun ammunition. The original thing was that they were going to ban all
firearms
ammunition
across the board.
So he inserted an amendment that got approved
Handgun.
to handgun.
That's why in the 17 pages that I mentioned here a second ago, it refers to handgun ammunition.
So as a result, let's fast forward to today, and listen, folks. This is a point I want to convey. A lot of people don't understand why we seem to be so hard-headed and belligerent and unwilling to compromise. Why? This is a perfect case, a perfect example about how little incremental steps and giving and then it adds up, and the law of unintended consequences means that law-abiding citizens like us are getting screwed. So speaking of screwed, More Expensive Than Gold out of Texas just raised the prices. What was the price of XM855 last week, Bob?
Last week I could go and thumb through their catalog and I could buy 1,000 rounds of Lake City Penetrator XM855, $400.
Yep, what did we see it for today?
840 for 1,000 rounds.
840 for 1,000 rounds. So it's went from under 50 cents a round, 40 cents a round, to 90 cents a round.
That's right.
This is why we're hard-headed and belligerent, and we don't acquiesce, we don't give, because it never stops. It was cop killer. We're saving the cops. And now, guys that commonly use this for hunting hogs and target practice and sporting purposes are now okay, now this ammo is out, and the price of our ammunition has gone through the roof, and this particular ammunition and that supply chain is now going to be unavailable, which will raise the price for all 5.56 223 shooters.
Absolutely, you're dwindling your supply, and so now we only have a select amount of bullets that we're legally able to buy.
And the actual effect of this out of a pistol versus any other 5.56 round against body armor is negligible.
Yes.
It's perfect. Any 5.56 round is perfectly capable of taking that out. So the logic chain is not there.
Not at all.
The pain and inference is all felt by us. Public safety has not been approved or improved one iota, but our wallets are getting hurt.
Yeah.
And our supply chain and our availability of ammo.
Yeah.
So two things. One, if you're panic buying the stuff, listen, it's only the 855, XM193, the penetrator, the green tip rounds. Frankly, I don't like to shoot these as much because of the steel content in the bullets and the sparks and fire danger. So there's a lot less fire danger shooting a lead bullet versus a steel bullet. So this isn't necessary.
I like it though.
Right.
I mean, I do like it.
And I don't begrudge you for doing that, and you should be able to. But
I've never bought it because it says penetrator. Because I can tell you what, you can look at our videos on steel penetration tests.
Mm-hmm.
How is that any more penetrable than a regular 223 round?
Right. Nope.
It's not there. It's made up. Just because it has in the name of the actual name right here, it says penetrator. Oh, it's scary. It penetrates.
Well, it has components in it that fits the little definition that the ATF
So narrow.
And so it fit the classification, and they went hunting and they went looking and they found and decided to stick it to us gun owners over this. So whether or not they're going to accept comments in the comment period and they're going to change their mind, I encourage you to contact the ATF and flood them with protests over this, because it's BS. And the other thing I want you to do is I want you to take note of the retailers, the people that you buy your stuff for. Pay close attention. You know what? Certain companies deserve your loyalty. Those ones that are trying to take care of you and treat you fair, they deserve your business. The ones that are quick to shaft you, quick to jack up the prices, quick to gouge you, you want to remember that. Always remember that. Now, in defense, I understand the free market, supply and demand. I also know which ones are quick to capitalize and stick it to you. So I want you guys to remember who's quick to stick it to you. And then when there's good times, remember where your folding green goes and keep it to the people that take care of you.
Let's rewind the clock back 2 years ago. What happened in Newtown, Connecticut?
There was a tragic wacko shooting.
That's right.
At a school.
And so what did more expensive than gold do?
They immediately pulled all their black, any semi-automatic firearm.
They were gone. We don't sell them.
Yep.
Don't come here to buy them.
Yep. That's exactly it.
No explanation. They were just gone.
They were quick and ready on the draw to jack up the prices whenever any of the political stuff happened. In fact, it got to the point they would send the catalog in the mail. It wouldn't even have prices on it. It would just be like call us and see how much we'll stick you for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when the ammo crunch happened here a year and a half ago, again, this right here was through the roof. Any ammunition was absolutely more expensive than gold.
Yeah, like $200 for a brick of 22 ammo.
Yeah, it was absolutely
like crazy
ridiculous.
Stuff. So that's our little take on the ATF and the recent announcement of the intended ban on the 855 and XM193. Remember the retailers that took care of you. If you're really just going out to buy and hoard this stuff, you're really just contributing to the problem. There's no impact really on the rest of the 5.56 ammunition. And listen, if you're paying through the nose, it's likely you'll regret it, because there's just a narrow window of opportunity when those retailers are able to stick you, and if you're paying, you really kind of got it coming.
And you're feeding into it. I mean,
Yep.
you're going to buy it at $840.
That's
No
right.
problem.
That's right. So I'm getting tired of getting poked by the ATF and them actively hunting and digging ways to get the owners of modern sporting arms, but
They keep trying to find ways. I mean, they want you to say, well, if you give us an inch, we'll let you keep your firearms forever.
Yeah.
Oh, just this one time though, folks. This one spring is really bad, so we want to ban that. But if you do it, you're going to be living in a better society.
And don't acquiesce. Don't give in to the common sense, little incremental steps. 1986, that little incremental step that didn't have any effect on you or me back then has now come back decades later to bite us in the butt. So give them no quarter. Just say no. Somebody's got to stand up, be vigilant, and not give any quarter, because you know what? Your friends, your neighbors, the relatives that don't understand what's going on will give away the farm and give away your farm without you even knowing what's going on.
And nobody can speak from experience better than you and I living here in the state of Washington.
That's right. That's right. Our friends and neighbors sold us down the river on universal background checks, and the law and the unintended consequences are just cascading and keep going on. So give no quarter. Just say no. Contact the ATF on their comment period. You can look in the description below. We'll have a link on how to contact them for feedback on their proposed XM855 armor-piercing bullet ban.
It's a penetrator. It's going to penetrate my soul.
And as always, stay vigilant, shoot safe.